Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Chris Allen with your weather podcast for this February 24th. We've had some pretty decent rainfall across the area overnight. A couple of you even heard some rumbles of thunder, and we're not done. We're not done yet as I record this podcast at 4:34 a.m. Central Time. Rain is still coming down. We've had some rounds of heavier downpours. We're going to get a little bit of a break here over the next, hour or two, a little bit of what we call a dry slot wrapping around the east side of that low-pressure system as it moves through western Kentucky. So you may see the rain taper off for a little bit before it comes winding back up, and then the winds. That's going to be a bigger story later today as the winds start to wrap on the backside of that low-pressure system and the colder air starts to move in as well, and then temperatures will begin to fall late this afternoon into tonight, and then that is going to help change some of this precipitation over to, well, it could be sleet or little ice pellets at first, and then over to some snow, although we're still not calling for much in the way of snow accumulation. There could be a little bit of snow on the grassy areas, your car, your rooftops, things like that by morning. Tomorrow morning, not this morning. Looking at the numbers from yesterday, 62 was the official high temperature at the Bowling Green Airport. That happened a little bit after 3 o'clock. 52 is the average high temperature, so we were 10 degrees above the average high for the day. 40 was our low, 32 is the average, so we were 8 degrees above the average low temperature for the day. 1 year ago, we had a high of only 27 and a low of 20 back in 2015. And before midnight, we picked up 82 hundredths of an inch of rain at the Bowling Green Airport. And looking around some of the Kentucky mesonet sites, some locations well over an inch of rain for the past, since midnight. That's when everything zeroes out and we look at new totals. We've picked up almost 4/10 of an inch of rain here in Bowling Green. Looking at some of the other sites, we're seeing close to an inch up there, and looks like, where is that? That's Meade County. And then over in Breckinridge County, 71 hundredths of an inch. Over in Hardin County, 3/4 of an inch. We see a lot of half-inch rainfalls, all of that since midnight. So the rain totals are piling up, and it's going to verify that many locations are going to see between an inch and 2 inches of rain by the time all of this is done later today. As we get through the day, here's how we see things kind of unfolding. We're getting the rain, the heavy rain right now, possibly even still a rumble of thunder. So we'll say a 90% chance of rain, wind, and starting out mild with a high in the upper 50s to near 60. But as that area of low pressure passes through western Kentucky and then on off into the Ohio Valley, the winds will begin to pick up as we go through the day from the west at 20 to 40 miles per hour. The wind is really going to ramp up later today. So we'll say a high in the upper 50s to near 60 with falling temperatures as we get into the afternoon, and they'll fall pretty quickly. As we get into this evening, and again for around the drive home or thereafter, windy, colder, 70% chance of rain over to a period of sleet, little ice pellets, graupel, if you will. Some will call it hail, but it's really just, well, it could be hail. It could be, it's a fine line between the ice types. Once you get in this environment, in this kind of atmosphere. But either way you slice it, over to a wet, slushy snow shower as we get into this evening. And we'll see a low of 33. And again, we're not calling for any real accumulation, although we could see some dusting on elevated surfaces like grassy areas, rooftops, cars, things like that. The real heavy snow is going to be west of the Mississippi River and northwest into the Boot Hill of Missouri, southern Illinois winter storm warning is out for that area where they could see several inches of snow. But here, the snow or the precipitation is not going to be here long enough. We've had several days of really warm weather. It's just really going to be hard to overcome that and pile up any snow around here. Now, some of you may wake up tomorrow morning and see a lot of snow on the grassy areas, but then just a wet, slushy snow on the roadways, or just wet. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. As we get into Thursday, it is going to be a blustery day, colder, still breezy, northwest winds at 18. As that area of low pressure departs into the Great Lakes, we'll see scattered rain showers and snow flurries depending on temperature. We are calling for a high of 42, which would mean any moisture would come down mainly as wet snowflakes and possibly melt on contact, although some locations colder than that could see maybe just mostly snow. But again, we're not calling for any significant accumulation out of any of this. Just a cold 29 as skies begin to clear Tuesday night, so we could have any moisture laying on the roadways could cause some icy spots Thursday night into Friday morning. Now, Friday, we're finally going to get rid of this whole system. We're going to see a mainly sunny sky and a high at 44. Saturday, a real nice day. Lots of sunshine, and we're going to warm it up to 57. After that, another warm-up coming Sunday with a high all the way up to 68 degrees. Yes, we've bumped up the numbers a little bit more there. But with that will come a cold front with a chance of rain showers coming in Sunday night into Monday morning. Monday's high, partly cloudy, 58. A warm front moves through again with a system that looks to stall out over the Tennessee Valley as we get into the first day of March, which is next Tuesday. A 20% chance of a shower, otherwise partly cloudy, and a high at 62. So the trend here is looking a little bit more spring-like, a little bit more in line with the end of February and the beginning of March. Once we get through this system today and tomorrow, things will shake out pretty nice for the weekend, and then we're going to see temperatures running at or above average, and well above average in some cases, once we get into the last day of February and the first day of March. All right, just be careful out there. Lots of water on the roadways, lots of standing water. Slow down. Hydroplaning is very easily done if you're going too fast today. And then later today, watch out for the winds. The winds will be strong from the west at 20 to 40 miles per hour, and that could cause some other problems, maybe a few tree branches down, small trees uprooted, that sort of thing. You know the drill, soggy ground, and then the wind could cause some issues. And then we'll see that wet, slushy snow coming in late this afternoon into this evening and tonight. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the podcast. God bless as always, and thank you so much for listening. Know the weather before it knows you. Have a great day. I'll see you live at 5:30 on AM Kentucky, 11 a.m. on midday, streaming live to the WBKO app and WBKO.com. Then later today, join me for the Chris Allen Radio Show, Classic Hits Sam 100.7 between 3 and 7 p.m.